Alrighty, just gotta do the old advertising. Maybe swap out the mouse because it is a bit fidgety sometimes. And do it on the old Twitter as well. How is everyone? Oh, hello Karate, just saw you in the Discord. Alrighty, yep, we're going to continue what we were doing before. I just need to take a while to find a decent cave system so we can explore some of the other content. Ah yes, this was where we were last time. Alright, well, better grab all this stuff then. Not too... It's alright to start this early because I've grab shell, don't need that. It's alright to start this early because I'm just looking around for stuff right now. What I need to do though is have some sort of method of organization for my inventory, because it is quite full of stuff. Okay, so those are the dunes we were in last time. And that was where we found all the monsters. I don't believe there are any cave systems over there. Thanks, Ecolite. Always could count on you. See ya, Elithris. Hello, Rector. Oh, there's a creeper. It's annoying that one of the first things that happens is like when you find a cave system, but it doesn't go entirely down to the bottom. I think I just got to poke around a little bit over here first. Just got to get my bearings. And that's what I like about the new 1.17 caves. I mean, some of them are a bit dead-endy, like as before. I don't think that's going to change, but the crack covers are quite useful for finding new caves. Like, I used to find them annoying, but then they decreased the frequency of them, and I actually found them quite useful for finding little caves. If there's one at the bottom, then it comes in really handy. Alright, well, that was a non-starter. Oh. Keep mixing that up. All right, well, here we are. thanks for telling me. Oh well, you didn't miss anything important. If you want to see where I was before, then I think it was somewhere down there. So yeah, now we're just going for a little journey to find a cave. Survival multiplayer series with all YouTubers on the Discord. How many YouTubers are there? Because, like, I don't know, I don't really follow them. Like, I know there's a couple streamers, but I'm not sure how much effort it would be to coordinate a multiplayer type thing. Regardless, I'm not on the SMP at the moment, because it was too late for me. I might try it later if anyone wants me to, but for now, I'm just going to be looking for caves so we can progress. Also, something that I might like to do in the future is maybe try the snapshots, because every time a new version comes out, I'm like, oh, well, all the mods are updated to the previous one. That must be the shrine I was in last time. All the mods are updated to the previous version, but then there's a new version. It looks so cool. Like, sometimes you just can't compare to Mojang when it comes in terms of quality, just because, you know, they're a professional game development studio. They have more resources than a modding team will ever have. So yeah, it's a shame that I can't experience all this stuff without 1.17 being going like, hey, It's the cave update. You should probably play this. Oh, this looks like it has promise. Maybe not that section. Is it just the Irregularity mod, or several other things? It's the Modpack, so it's basically got the abnormal mods and things. Let's see, what else? What's a Minecraft feature you think needs an update? It's weird because I usually have so many things that I want to change, but then when someone says, "Oh, what do you want to change?" I'm like, ugh. Okay, and then in the time it's taken me to say that, I've thought of something. Basically enchantments. I wouldn't mind if enchantments were changed a bit, because when you think of the base concept of enchantments, it's essentially upgrades, except that there's so many to pick from that you get at random. Oh, that's a lava lake. There's so many to pick from that you get at random, and then it requires a resource that you're almost constantly collecting, but it requires so much of it that players are incentivized to build mob grinders and things, which I don't have anything against. It's just not the sort of thing that I want to spend my time doing. That's where I went before. Okay, I might have to get out of these dunes in order to find something decent. Hello, Lord Dracostar. Yeah, it's a Irregularity mod pack. And hello there, Sheriff. Glad you're enjoying. I'm still trying to find somewhere. It seems like I'm stranded on some sort of island and just retracing my footsteps from last time, but we'll see if we find anything. Yep, I've already been there. Might need to go swimming. Maybe we'll come across some of the upgraded aquatic stuff. Because I need to find a decent new landmass, and all I can see at the moment is just endless ocean. So I think I'm just going to look at chat. I'm just thinking about how, when all the mods are updated with 1.17, all the ones that use copper are going to have to do some serious rebalancing. Yeah, I'm not familiar with all the different mods that use copper, but I wish in Java they had the thing where you just hold up and then it just swims on the surface. On Bedrock, you can literally just hold. You don't have to do this awkward resurfacing that makes a bunch of noise, and then also you have to time it right so that your bubbles will actually refill. I think they should add a new mod that can aid the warden in the deep dark. I've seen a lot of suggestions for that, and the problem is that a lot of people are suggesting this before they actually know the full extent of the warden's mechanics. So what if it was hard enough to get being detected by the warden by yourself when suddenly there's mobs snitching on you, you know? So it's hard to tell. Does Regularity Modpack have custom world generation? I'm not sure. There's a way to stay at the top. Yeah, you have to be very careful about it though. Like, you can't move. And then if you might be able to see that I'm slowly going under, even though I'm at this angle. It's a little bit hard to tell then, but yeah. Snow and some mountains. It's weird playing with all the mods, because sometimes when you're in one place you don't find any new vanilla features. Not new vanilla features, you don't find any new modded features. But there's a riverwood. You can get some mulberries from that, that'll be handy. But yeah, looks like I've lucked out over here. And it's becoming nighttime. I really want to find some caves. Probably should have done some searching beforehand. Oh, what's this? Oh, I thought that was a creeper, but it's just a patch of green. Okay. Oh well, at least we can talk about stuff. I've got so many random game design topics that have just been kind of mulling around in my mind, and I'd like to make it into some sort of organized thing, but I don't. I find it's easier to do that if I just kind of talk about random stuff first. I'll talk about a video idea I had for a while. Basically, Oops. Yeah, I feel like I'm not going to be able to get up here. Okay, well, back to swimming, I guess. So, you know all those YouTubers, like JXC and White Light, who are suggesting all these different mechanics for Minecraft. And they're saying stuff like, you know, this wouldn't be hard because it's already been done in other games. Oh, is that a trident drowned? Oh, hello. Oh, and it's got the swimming animation. Okay. I might be able to get a trident if the luck gods are in my favor. Come on, come back up to the surface. And what did I get from that? Bit of rotten flesh. Lovely. This is why I'm glad Upgrade Aquatic is a thing. But anyway, as I was saying, there's a lot of people who are suggesting all these different things for Minecraft, but but all these suggestions would make Minecraft into something that it's not. And you might say, well, you know, who cares about the identity of Minecraft if you just want to improve it? But I don't think they understand exactly how much of the game would change due to these features and how many people like it already. So let's take something like progression. There's a lot of people who say, oh, you know, Minecraft's progression is pretty lackluster because you get wood tools and then you discard those 5 minutes later for stone tools, and then iron tools, and then once you get diamond, you don't even need to get netherite. Well, then it's basically done. And I think the problem is people are treating this like it's any other game. So I was thinking the headline, like, what makes Minecraft special? No, not headline, the title of the video. What makes Minecraft special? Would give people an insight into, like, why Minecraft does have bare bones progression, or why it does deliberately keep things simple, why it might add animals that don't have a specific use, that sort of thing. Oh, maybe zombie, lovely. I think this is an autumnity forest. Maybe we'll find a good cave in here. Are you going to make a Let's Play Realm Origins as you once did a video covering the site or mod that is not actually a mod? No, it's a server with custom content. They like overwrite blocks and stuff. Not sure. I haven't looked too much into Realm Origins stuff. I've heard they've been having their problems with like how the economy is designed, so I might just wait till it's actually in full release. But not sure about that. I guess I just have to look into it. Well, I'm on top of a mountain now, but we're not really getting anywhere. Oh, that's a decent landmass. Hopefully we'll be able to find some stuff here. Oh look, a yak. Can you shear yaks? And then I think they're aggressive to you, aren't they? Do I have shears on me? Don't think I do. Well, if I do, that's just too bad. And then they attack me, okay. You do? Or yep, that's definitely coming from that. Okay, well, all I need to worry about is the yak now. And it is killing me right now. It doesn't make the other ones hostile though, I suppose. And I need to get a new shield. It's actually quite a cool mechanic how it only gets hostile after you shear it. Oh, and there goes my weapon, lovely. Okay. There's a cave system down there, probably worth taking a look at that. Let's see, I can probably take out this spider with the hoe. I do not want to accidentally attack you. I might just spam it. Is there anything else around that's going to get me? Yes, there's a zombie. Okay, well, I'm actually going to need to concentrate now. I don't have any blocks in my hotbar. These should do fine though. Okay, do I have a crafting table? I do not have a crafting table, okay. Just don't want to die. Are there any skeletons around that could shoot me off? Doesn't look like it. Alright, well. Let's make some new stuff then. That'll help. And let's put those together so I don't have to worry about it breaking. There we are, okay. Wearing yak pants while sharing them doesn't aggro them. Huh, that's weird. I mean, it's not weird in game design stance, but like in a lore stance, it's just like, oh yeah, you're wearing my fur already. Oh, well, you might as well go and take some more, eh? All right, let's cook up some of this. See what the yucca fruit does. Oh yeah, that gives me the persistence. The one where you run faster, the less hunger you have, I believe. Yeah, because then I went slightly slow when my hunger increased. Alright. Well, I'm alright for now. You smell like them. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Technically, I suppose. Alright, well let's get some of that. Oh, and there it goes. Oh lord, he coming. And there's a drop right there that I do not want to deal with. Alright, and there's a yak. I've got 5 at the moment. And I am assuming you need 7. Alright, let's see if I can share this dude without... Oh man, that thing's got hands. Alright, let's take the long way around. Oh, there's another yak over there. Oh, cool, so I can make yak pants. Cool. Alright, well, that guy's angry at me. Alright, let's try out this thing. That's very useful. And apparently it doesn't count as a jump, whereas auto jump does. So you don't lose hunger for jumping, inconsequential as that might be. Still adds up over time. Okay, I'm in danger of dying here, so... Yeah, this is quite fun. It's like I'm riding a horse without riding a horse. Uh-oh, I'm about to die. Oh, no wonder. It's one of the ones with the bow. Okay, I don't think you can reach me here. And soon they'll start, soon they'll start to burn up, so hopefully I will be safe. This place looks relatively safe. Just do not want to die here. Alright, let's eat some of this. Great iron to steel that is same as diamond with worse durability but can't become netherite. Problem with adding tool tiers like that is like it does have some slight changes. It's just that it's not sure. I'm not sure whether people would bother using that given how easy diamonds are to get. Although since it can't be upgraded to netherite, but if it was easier to get, then I imagine that would actually become a big part of the meta for people who aren't interested in netherite, because netherite, the armor has knockback protection and the items don't burn in lava. But I think it was deliberately constructed to be a tool tier that wasn't too, like, essential. Like, the things that it does have is quite useful, but it's not essential for everyone. Now I'm down here. Hopefully we'll find some stuff that we can mine down here. This looks promising. We got some very balanced clay over there. Oh cool, I've actually found iron for once, that's nice. Yeah, the yak pants give you the step up, that's quite useful. Doesn't need to be steel, could be like platinum or something. I believe Origin Realms has platinum because of how their custom data packs work and things. Well, that's the end of that cave. I'm hoping to get down to diamond level because one of my favourite things in Minecraft is just like when you're down at the lava and then you douse water on it and then you walk around and stuff. Would be also fun to see my best friend glowing obsidian. Glowing obsidian, my beloved. Alright, well, there's a zombie. There we are. Took care of them. I suppose I'm quite high up because I'm still in a mountains biome. Okay, well, there's a skeleton there. They're taken care of. Should try the create mod because I think you'd like the minecart features they added, like the ability to make trains and even auto miners. I've heard a lot of good things about create, so I might try that out. It's just I see a lot of people calling it a vanilla style mod, and technically, like, it's not a bad mod, but technically, since it pretty much substitutes redstone out for mechanics, I don't think you'll find a tech mod that is completely vanilla style unless it uses redstone, and doesn't eclipse any of the functionality of redstone. Problem is, redstone isn't immediately something that's something that a player can manipulate. I remember when I was first trying it out, and I was trying to find a way to make it toggle, and like that's something in redstone they use called a T flip-flop. Toggle flip-flop, if you want to use its full name. And essentially I just wanted something that turned a button into a lever, so I could have like a lever pressure plate or something. But yeah, that's stuff you can figure out by yourself, and I mean people have, because otherwise electronics wouldn't exist. But yeah, I feel like mechanical power has a lot more potential to give feedback to the player so they can see what they're doing. Then again, personally, I'm someone who's more like code oriented. Like, I find, I'm not sure if this is just because I'm used to code or if I think procedurally, but I feel like code makes more sense to me than like visual diagrams. I remember when I was doing engineering at uni, there's all this stuff, and I'm just like, this isn't really clicking with me. Whereas like logic, like code and stuff, I felt like I was able to process that information a lot easier. So maybe that's why I find redstone relatively easy. But yeah, it's something interesting, which is probably why I should try out the create mod so I can see how much of what I said is actually relevant, because there's a lot of stuff in game design that people can just kind of say, yeah, this is good game design, from like previous experiences or seemingly common sense. But it's a lot deeper than that once you get into the nitty gritty, because you know you won't know if your stuff is fun until you playtest it. What's your opinion on 1.17 being split into two separate updates? Well, I've seen a lot of people not complaining about the fact that it's being delayed, but the fact that the whole thing wasn't delayed. Personally, I don't mind, because it means that a lot of the content that we'll be getting, like I've always been looking for some more uses for copper and amethyst. So if those get into the first one, then that's great, because it means like I know those features are done and I can play around with them and stuff. I guess they didn't really want to break their promise of the deadline of summer this year. Well, winter in the northern hemisphere. Oh, it's a pillager outpost. Let's go check that out. Should probably put this back on and make some boots. Did I leave my crafting table behind last time? Of course I did. So personally, I don't mind. I've seen people saying, why don't they just delay the whole thing? And of course, you know, they have a promise to community and things. If they, the update's already taking longer than most to come out, so if they went even longer, I can see how people would lose interest. Might become like a Silk Song, if anyone here is fans of Hollow Knight, Silk Song situation where people are just endlessly waiting for a promised update. But yeah, I feel like Minecraft could lose a lot of its momentum, even with the update to look forward to. 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 Also, I was talking before about design. You don't know whether your design is watertight until you've actually like played through it and listened to other people's experiences with it, and that's something that that I found with the banner burning mechanic from Savage and Ravage. That was the one feature that I suggested to it. Essentially, currently when you kill a pillager captain, you get the bad omen effect, and then when you walk into a village with a bad omen effect, it starts a raid. And the problem with that is that you can also get pillager captains from patrols. So if you come across a patrol on your journey, then you pretty much have to deal with it. Like even when you're in the end game, it's still unavoidable. So then you get bad omen, and then you have to find some way to get some milk before you're allowed to go back to your village. Alright, Griefer, let's just take you out. Was that the Griefer that got angry at me? I think so. Oh, nope, it's not. Okay, there's something up there. Oh, hello. Hello. There we are. Oh, there's another one over there. Hello. You can't reach me. Okay. Got a decent amount of arrows from killing those skeletons. Shall I oh, there you are. Oh, there's quite a lot of them actually. But at least they're dropping arrows. There we are. Alright, let's see what else do we have. Can they get out of there? Don't believe they can. But there's one over here. Hello. There we are. There's probably another one somewhere. But anyway, as I was saying about the Savage and Ravage mechanic, problem is that somewhat discourages building, because I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was saying that she sets up milk stations around around her villages so that they hello, so that they can take care of any. Okay, they're coming at me from all angles. Oh, hello, you're my friends. Okay. They set up milk stations so that they can drink some milk to get rid of the bad omen effect before they handle stuff. So me adding the burning mechanic would actually okay, there's some rune tiles. Me adding the burning mechanic for banners actually kind of removes that emergent gameplay that comes from being forced to get rid of the bad omen before you're in a village, unless of course the raid is also part of emergent gameplay. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff you got to consider with Minecraft when designing for it. There's just so many situations, and you can't think of them all, of course, because Minecraft is such a the player has so much freedom in Minecraft. Oh, hello. Oh, they're booming up them. Okay, that's okay. They come from everywhere, don't they? Alright, they're dealt with. I should eat a bit more. Do I have any food on me? Probably yak fruit, that should be good enough. Not enough to heal me, okay. Yak juice then. Alright. And it's getting dark, so... Oh cool, there's some carrots in here, that'll come in useful. And some bottle-o enchantings. Alright, what's up here? There's someone getting angry at me. Oh, it's over there, okay. I think I will just ignore you for now if you are not a threat. A lot of loot in here. I think I'll just take the carrots for now, and the iron. Because those are quite useful. And I'll grab the arrows too, actually, because I don't have many of those. These are a lot easier to take on than I was expecting. It feels like a lot of the danger actually comes from the from outside and not inside, unless you count the rune tiles. But I already know what they look like. They can reach me all the way up there. That's a worry. And I've run out of arrows now. Yeah, see, there's one over there, one over there. They just keep coming. Let's talk about chat then. Where have I gotten up to? I feel like I haven't been completely concentrating. Cam crit, please. No, that is a 1.17 texture pack. It's just the new ores. What's the texture pack using for the GUI green bar thing? I can't remember entirely. I think it might be Farcr's, but not entirely sure of that. Yeah, it's Farcr's. There's stuff with redstone that's difficult to do with create. Yeah, there is a trade-off there. Why is it taking so long for Minecraft to finish new updates? Do you think they're lazy or just don't care? Well, that is a false dilemma you've got yourself in, because it's possible that neither of those are true. As someone who's been modding for a while and interested in design, it's definitely a lot harder than it looks. There's a lot of stuff in the... Whoops, actually I've been stripping these logs instead. There's a lot of stuff that you got to consider in the game design process that isn't immediately obvious to the player, and in some ways that's actually how it's intended, because the player is just supposed to enjoy the game and not necessarily like be aware of every single action that went into it. Here's the rune tiles. I'll stock up before going on one. But yeah, I don't really get the lazy devs argument. Like, why would developers be lazy? They're employees. They have to do their job. It's not like whoever employing them is like, yeah, sure, you can be lazy because, you know. Yeah, there it comes. And then it disappears. Nice. So yeah, it doesn't really make sense when, you know, it's their job. They can't really afford to be lazy because they're being employed by people and stuff like that. So yeah, it doesn't really make sense to me. There should be a way to deactivate a stronghold outpost. Yeah, that's the thing that I think King B-Dogs was talking about it, how he didn't like how the Nether Fortress spawned wither skeletons, because you couldn't truly get rid of the wither skeletons there, because where they were spawning was inherent to the location. You could dismantle the entire fortress, and the skeletons would still spawn there, and there's no way to get rid of that. Let's get some of these creepies. Our creepies versus their creepies. Will they go? Yep, they're gonna. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Oh, that one actually got it out. Alright, well that's a worry. There we are. There we are, that creepy pit is taken care of. Alright, I should probably sleep now. Oh, there's a... There you are, hello. Come down here. There we are. Okay. Now I think I can rest in peace, and hopefully not in a dead way. So yeah, the thing with the skeletons spawning in fortresses is the same thing with outposts, except I haven't really seen them spawn in outposts in my experience, but they do keep spawning. What's your plan now with eventually releasing Caverns now that 1.17 is going to be split into 2 separate updates? I believe that most of the stuff in Caverns and Chasms isn't reliant on the update because, you know, we've started coding it already. So I guess the stuff that actually improves Caves and Cliffs is just going to have to wait a while longer. Didn't pick up the banner, don't want it. I might pick it up later, but like I've got plenty there. Also, the burning mechanic allows for infinite raids. Not sure if that's necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, I probably should put my resource packs in my description. Not all emergent gameplay is good / fun though. Yeah, emergent gameplay is something you really have to like control with what comes out, because you know there's fun emergent gameplay and then there's stuff where it's like, oh, the optimal strategy is actually to do this boring thing for 5 hours, and technically it's optimal, but you're not going to have much fun doing it. So yeah, let's have a look around to see if there are any villagers. Oh, hello. There you are. There we are. Is there another one over there? Okay, no, okay. There you are. Something I noticed on the ominous banner just now is that, you know how there's that big deal in lore about the evokers having blue eyes? I believe the ominous banner has blue eyes as well. Interesting. So it's not actually the pillagers that they're showing there. Yeah, I know I missed the chest Farcr. I wasn't looking for like everything, I just took the important stuff. Yeah, emergent gameplay is something that every Minecraft designer should know. Like, even if you're making modern stuff, it's very important because that's one of the things that is like at the core of Minecraft's gameplay. You know, it's the reason people were able to play so long, because you know the building mechanics, you can use blocks in unintended ways. Classic one is like using trapdoors to make furniture and stuff like that. Just like using all the emergent gameplay is basically something, you have these features and together they create something that's more than the sum of their parts. You know, the gameplay emerges from them instead of just being the features. Same with redstone, same with mob spawning. A lot of the emergent gameplay in Minecraft is actually built around exploiting the mechanics. Like, spawning mechanics is just something that we don't really think about now with farms. Like, they are technically an exploit, but whether that's a good thing or a bad thing depends on, like, you know, how fun are they today. Oh, it's a cherry forest, I believe. But yeah, mob spawning is still like, you know, something that's intended to spawn mobs to be a challenge for the player, and then the player uses their knowledge of those mechanics to increase their drop rates. So technically it's an exploit. But it's just such a part of the gameplay and the meta right now that people just don't think too much about that, I think. It's not necessarily a bad thing that they don't think about it, it's just fascinating. Oh, it's a panda. The outpost is meant to have vindicators and pillagers inside, unlike in vanilla. Yeah. Well, I didn't come across too many. Maybe they all went outside, but yeah, I experienced most of my shooting from the outside. So there's that. How do I get that creeper stuff? I got one randomly, didn't know how. Yeah, it does come from a creeper that's exploded. One last thing I want to say about create is parts of the mod actually make other parts of the mod obsolete, mainly stuff in the new 0.3 update. Yeah, that's a tricky thing with game design, because like sometimes it's good to make stuff obsolete if it's like boring or just there's only so much you can do with it. Kind of like horse riding and pig riding. Pig riding is just something that you can't really. I mean, some people have tried to like think of ideas to make it more interesting, but it's just. Gotta think about how I say this. But yeah, since you need a carrot and a stick things, it's very limited. I suppose they could have whoops, mouse just went crazy. I suppose they could have made it salvaged it, but like I guess it was sometimes it's just easier to start from scratch. Right, maybe I'll actually find a decent cave here somewhere. Unless I don't. Oh, there's lava. That's a good sign. Oh, we might be in for an adventure finally. There are dysfunctional game dev teams, but not lazy ones. Definitely. A lot of the problems in game development doesn't come from people not doing stuff. It just comes from people not doing stuff efficiently. Like when you've got an entire game to make, like when you're working with like hundreds of other people, like maybe not in Minecraft, but like when you're working with a lot of different people at once, there's a lot of like stuff that can go wrong just because, you know, you don't know everything they know. Oh, it's a Deeper. Hello, Deeper. But like even in mods, you know, you can have disagreements. You can artists might not understand what's possible. Coders might not understand what looks good. You know, people can't be completely multi-talented unless they are, of course. But most of the time, people specialize, which means that there's room for misunderstandings. Okay, that looks like it has some potential, but I got to go back up to the surface to get some wood. Oops. It's a very tall birch tree. But let's take care of some of this this cherry wood. Like with the item ejectors, you don't need conveyor belts and fans to shoot items anymore. Yeah, that's why that's part of that's also already possible in vanilla with stuff like hoppers and water streams. Although it is kind of contrived in the way that they do it. I don't mind stuff replacing other stuff if, like, you know, you do it for good reason. Like if you do it for good reason, such as like it's just not fun. Like as the person said before, not all emergent gameplay is good. You have to consider at some point that, you know, sometimes you do have to replace this stuff because even though it's technically possible, it's very, very roundabout. But yeah, something as simple as item ejectors or water streams, it's something I feel like it gives Minecraft a lot of charm. To, like, you know, if you have water streams all over the place, and it's just like, yeah, well, this technically makes sense for Minecraft. It's something that you're like, you look at this and you go, yeah, this is Minecraft. And of course, you know, that's not an excuse for everything, but the thing is, you know, I'm always saying, yes, this is the case, but what about this? What about this? And of course, you know, this isn't always the case. Like that's something you got to consider in Minecraft's design. Like there are very, very few hard and fast rules. There are a lot of exceptions for stuff because, you know, game design is meant to be enjoyed by humans, and humans have subjective desires. You can't just point at something and say, yes, this is fun, this is good game design. There are some brief, like, okay, I might actually die here. And there's a spider spawner. Okay, well, I think I'm done for. Unless I can manage to lock myself somewhere deep in here, which I do not deem likely. I am at 2 hearts, walking around in the dark. This is why you prepare for your journeys, folks. Actually, I could if I have time. Nope, too late. Oh, there goes me. Oh, and I'm back here. Okay, I might actually be able to find my stuff again then. Nah, I doubt it. All right, let's look through chat then. Actually, tell you what, let's see how the Abnormals S&P is going. See if that's a bit more reliable now. Because last time I went on, it was pretty laggy. Okay, well, I'm in just as dire straits as I was on the previous one, but we can look around, find some stuff. I'm in a relatively empty part as I was before, just because of just because of I wanted the place I was exploring to be untouched. So I've got a cave over there, so hopefully we can go and look at some stuff and find some interesting stuff. So that's some food. I'll get some stone, and I'll probably need some more wood too. Right, where's my cave? I think my cave was over there. Pig riding might be hated. They kind of redid pig riding with striders. That's the thing. They didn't replace its functionality. Like, there's still an advantage to striders, because you know pigs can't walk on lava. So even though it's the same mechanic as such, it's not the same use case. Alright, let's mine 3 stone and then use the pickaxe as fuel, I guess. And let's go and mine some more of this, mine some more of the tree. Cardinals are supposed to be added to cherry forests. I haven't had a look at what cardinals do yet. If you make the tree float, we unsubscribe. Well, too late now. Oh well. At least this is being more reliable than it was last time. Perhaps a lot of people anticipated my arrival, so wanted to go on the SMP while I was on, but oh well. What else is on? A couple others. What will be our main goal of the survival Minecraft livestream? I don't know, I'm just kind of mucking around looking at stuff. I was going to try and like go through progression, but I couldn't really seem to find any decent caves. Hopefully this is one of them though. Okay, well I've got enough wood now, so I suppose I can just smelt that one down too. There we are. Now we are on track. And hopefully this cave doesn't bottom out. Caught between 2 spawners. Yeah, I felt like it was a baby zombie spawner. Do those exist or? Yeah, I could have made bread, but I don't know. I was just kind of put on the spot there. What's your opinion on the archaeology system being postponed past both parts of 1.17? I'm a bit confused by that, because on one hand, people weren't too excited for it. Like, it wasn't something that people really understood the potential of. Probably because the only thing we got at Minecon was the pots and the dig sites, and people don't really understand. You know, this just seems like a feature that's sort of tacked on, and don't really see an actual point for it. Like, is it just something educational? Then why not just add it to Education Edition? So I've been giving this a lot of thought, and there's been a few extra bits of info that have come through from people like King B-Dogs, who have talked like about the wider scope of it, more like hinted at it. But yeah, it's more than just the dig sites. So I can't help but think, is this a feature that's being postponed because it got such a mixed reaction? Or is it getting postponed because they really want to make sure that it works? Because there is a lot of potential for it, and it seems like they do have quite big plans for it. Well, I guess I'll just attack you with a pickaxe then, I guess. They do have big plans for it, and I feel like there is a lot of potential, because if you look at loot at the moment, you know, you just kind of grab stuff out of a chest and that's it. Whereas imagine if all these ancient structures you went to, like desert temples and stuff, imagine if you had to archaeologically dig the treasure out. You know, that gives some more interest to the structure, because suddenly you're not just going in there grabbing the loot and like you're a Tomb Raider or something. You're actually kind of, you know what, you're respecting the history. There's also potential for quasi-lore, of course, depending on what you get. There's just a lot of stuff. Like, just because we haven't seen much of it, it doesn't mean that it's not being worked on in the background. So yeah, it's just one of those things that like, oh, I just really want to see it so that people can know that it's not just a gimmick, you know. So yeah, it's a shame that it's being postponed. I'm not entirely sure why. I guess it's probably a mixture of the two reasons, but yeah, it's just I want to see it. I want people to see what I'm thinking, to understand how big of a feature it could be. No dynamic. Do dynamic interactions, mob interacting with others without play interaction, go against one of Jeb's design rules that every action in the world must be instigated by the player? It's not every action, it's every bad action. Bad things happen, but they're technically the player's fault. So, the ones that do happen should be avoidable or preventable. So, the example that they give in the Jeb book is iron golems and creepers. Iron golems don't attack creepers because otherwise the creeper would explode, doing some damage without player input, because you know the iron golem attacked it by itself. And in one of the recent snapshots, you can actually see this in action, because creepers can be headbutted by goats, but they won't actually like retaliate. They won't blow up the goat because of that. And that's something interesting, because usually animals just don't want to mess with the creatures. But I suppose they found the idea of just, you know, playing the goat, I suppose, as part of the goat's identity. I was really anticipating the archaeology system being used with pre-existing structures. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think people understood that it could actually change a lot of Minecraft at the moment. Oh, there's a skeleton jockey. Interesting. And baby zombies might be hated. Actually, at least I'm kind of geared up, I suppose. A lot of things coming for me, though. Oh, there's a cave. Oh, and there's a creeper in the cave, of course. Well, I got a shield. What could go wrong? Wow, that's some lag. And then here come the creepies. Oh well, I guess now that it's so laggy, I can take care of them one by one. Take your time, it's okay. Alright, well, that's them taken care of. Okay, hopefully this leads somewhere. Didn't? Okay, well. Yeah, it is just negative things. Will the cave be 1.18? I believe on the FAQ page they said they said Caves and Cliffs Part 1 would be 1.17, and Caves and Cliffs Part 2 would be 1.18. They weren't clear about it before, but they talk about the version numbers on there. They encourage people not to like really care about version numbers, but for stuff like mods, it is actually important, because you know you want to know which features will be coming, and like especially how modders have had to deal with stuff like, oh, there's a there's one of the old skeleton traps. Lovely. And I have no armor. This is an ideal situation. But yeah, like if it was like 1.17 and then all the other stuff was put in 1.17.2, suddenly you got, you know, it's a similar situation with 1.16.2, how they rewrote world generation and broke a bunch of stuff, and people didn't understand, because usually there aren't breaking changes in minor versions. So I'm glad they're seemingly going to separate them into two separate ones. Would you like more variety in in-game armor? To be honest, I haven't really explored much of in-game to get the idea that I feel like I wish there was like something that wasn't objectively better. Abnormals mods has some interesting like side grades and stuff, so I would like to try those out, but for now I'm just kind of scrambling to not die in a thunderstorm. Oh, this is going quite deep. Okay, this has potential. There's some more iron here, so hopefully I can make some iron armor. 37 lava and I'll donate you $1,000. Okay, Mr. Beast. Money up front then. Oh, $10,000. Subscribe and you could win. Would you like a new end game or on the end, maybe an alternative to netherite? Well, oh, what happened there? Stack overflow error. Yikes. Connection refused. No further information. Interesting. Maybe it's one of those hourly resets or whatever they're doing there. Oh, what was I talking about before? Oh yeah, enderite. Yeah, I don't know. I do like the idea of having to collect an ore in the end, especially a popular suggestion I've heard is it being on the the bottom of the end islands, and you have to kind of go down, bridge down there, and to grab it and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like it's something too obvious. Ores in the end is quite a generic idea, of course. You can't say, oh, that's just copying netherite. But if you had something like enderite, and let's say it protected from void or whatever, made it so you couldn't fall into the void, you just kind of floated on top, that would be cool. But I feel like it's too obvious a solution, and instead of thinking, oh, it's a new ore, you gotta really think about the problems that would be solved by a new ore, and whether it could be solved by anything else. Because I was talking about this in my cave update video ages ago, and I was saying an ore is probably the last thing you would consider. If you wanted to do something, you're like, okay, can a new block do this? Can a renewable resource do this? Because ores are usually renewable in quite contrived ways. Mandatory restart. Yep, thought so. Can't connect to server. Objectively best new thing for the end, but I'd like more customization like Minecraft dungeons. Yeah, that's a thing, because I do like how Minecraft Dungeons enchanting system works, how you salvage it and you get all your enchantment points back. But it works for Minecraft Dungeons because the material you're replacing your equipment for higher tier stuff all the time. So it encourages you to try out all the different enchantments, because oh, what does that enchantment do? I should try doing with that one, see if it's better or more fun or something like that. So yeah, it works for Minecraft Dungeons, but Minecraft Dungeons is something where you're constantly leveling up, and Minecraft is something that deliberately doesn't have much progression, so it's hard to tell. Oh, looks like we're back up though. I'd like to make the end kind of Rainbow Roadish, have every island be a different biome from the overworld and nether. It's hard to tell what the end's theme actually is. There's all the alien stuff, and there's a lot of people wanting stuff from the overworld and nether to be in there, but I don't know, it just doesn't really jive with me. Plus it would kind of make the nether and overworld less interesting, I feel. What I really want to know is how Mojang would deal with the end, because you've got the energetic expansion, but even though it's still barren and mysterious, it's quite lush. I mean, of course that's just one of the biomes, and the other ones that are planned aren't as lush, but it's still, there's a lot more design space that could be considered. Oh, here's something. Here is something indeed. Okay, well, let's camp out here for a bit. Gotta grab some coal as well. But there's so much wacky stuff that they could do with the end. I remember seeing some designs for it the other day. They could do completely alien stuff. When you've got there's so much room in Minecraft for such wacky mechanics and such wacky designs, I feel like they would really try and like push the boundaries. You know, Mojang is always kind of doing what mods do, but like with an entirely new style. Like if you compare NetherX to Nether Update, you know, there's just a completely different theme there, I suppose. Sometimes the solution is staring you in the face. Yeah, well, there's you know, there's the old, oh, sometimes the obvious solution is the good one. Sometimes you got to think of something more unique, and it's just deciding how do you balance those two. You know, it's not always going to be, oh, just go for the obvious solution versus go for the most creative solution. It's not a binary choice between those. But you know, people say sometimes the obvious solution is the best one, and I'm a bit biased towards that kind of thinking because it reminds me of Simply Sark's bundle video, which I disagree with. But yeah, I guess it's one of the tasks as game designers to come up with, to figure out when is this a good idea, when should we go for the simple solution and when should we not. This was something that I ran into when designing the explosives planned for Nether extension, and people saying, oh, well, I would like the explosives to be a bit more unique, and I'm like, why though? Because I'm quite a function over form guy. Like, I don't really care too much about how something looks or how it acts, as long as it kind of gets the job done in a fairly straightforward way. But there is a lot more stuff. Like, I feel like the Strider is a really good example of thinking outside the box. There's so many mods that just added lava boats. But with the Strider, you know, you have to have the warped fungus on the stick. You have to have a saddle, which means doing a raid. And you have to make sure that you don't lose your Strider. Also, it's just so cute and ugly at the same time. Minecraft goes for an ugly cute type thing, as they said at Minecon. But yeah, sometimes you gotta think outside the box, sometimes you don't. As it turns out, I did end up iterating on the explosives a little bit. But when something's unique for the sake of being unique, it does tend to... Oh, there goes my pickaxe. It does tend to get a bit gimmicky, just because if it's not unique for a reason, like if it doesn't actually change your gameplay, then it just kind of ends up being unique for unique's sake. So as an example, I used to have a Silk Touch TNT that would explode blocks as if they'd been mined with Silk Touch. But then I ended up adding that Silk Touch explosion to the Sporus, which is like a new kind of spore creeper in Nether extension. And I felt like that changed because, you know, you have to be able to spawn a spore creeper wherever you want it, instead of just crafting its stuff together to get the spore TNT. So the way it works in NetherX is that you, I think you get the warped spores, and then you brew that into a potion of infestation, and then when you drink that, they start to spawn around you, which means you got to have one of those on you, and then you got to detonate it in the correct way, because, you know, a mob's a lot harder to control than a block. But for someone like Silk Touch, not Silk Touch TNT, stuff like the ones which did a cubic explosion or a one that did a tunnel bore, I felt like that stuff had to kind of stay the way that it was, just because if it was too gimmicky, then it would kind of reduce its function, because the whole point is for it to be kind of a reliable explosion for mining and stuff, or chiseling out large areas. So for stuff like that, I felt like I couldn't really change it. So, you know, when you're saying, oh, does it need to be unique versus does it, should it not? Ooh. Then, I guess you just got to consider all the factors instead of just saying, you know, sometimes it doesn't need to be unique, sometimes it does, where it's like, okay, what's the implications of it being unique? Does it help or hinder gameplay, etc.? Alright, do I have any torches on me? Oh, uh-oh. Oh, there goes the, oh, did it snipe me? Nice. Alright, well, there's some more torches. Oh, there's some more deepers. Okay, well, let's get away from there, sharpish. Hello? You gonna keep going, mate? Hello? You gonna fall so I can get you? No? Okay, well I just will craft this clay and... Oh, gold, nice. Any updates on the Admirals wiki? No, sorry. Oh, wait, can stone mine gold? Felt like stone... Oh no, stone can mine lapis, but I should probably upgrade to iron anyway, so... I feel like the end should feel more like an end, something you could actually explore indefinitely if you wanted. Yeah. I think... I remember hearing something that was like, the Ender Dragon is kind of a false end. It's quite poetic because, you know, it's a boss. It's something that destroys the terrain. It's kind of like the antithesis of Minecraft. Oh! Deeper on the furnace, what will he boom? I love how this stream is just me me talking about game design and then coming across random stuff that makes me stop in my tracks. So yeah, the Ender Dragon kind of represents a false end, you know. It implies that, you know, this is all the end, but, you know, Minecraft's a sandbox game. It doesn't really have an end. The end is when the player stops playing. Or you could think of it as, you know, you never stop playing Minecraft, you just have really long breaks. Oh, I want to get that iron. And then, I guess the end isn't really an end, it's more like the beginning. For some people it literally is if they want to get elytra and shulker boxes before attempting any large projects. Oops, spider up there, okay. Let's see what else. Don't really think so when it comes to Minecraft's progression end. Right, it's so static, you can do so much more. Definitely. There's a lot of, as I was saying, there's a lot of stuff you need to factor in when thinking about whether an idea is a good idea. Alright, well, doesn't seem to be anything up there. Is that some iron? That was some iron. Oh well. Chanting is so weird. You can just recycle a villager's profession of the best books easily, so it's not hard. Change must be done to make it more fun in general, in my opinion. That's something I agree with. And I guess that's one of the examples of emergent gameplay where it doesn't go as well, because suddenly you're subverting one of the core concepts of the game, enchanting, because it's more reliable to enslave a bunch of villagers to trade the stuff for you, and then zombify them and re-zombify them to lower their trade prices and things. Would be crazy if the end had different mechanics, like different gravity or something. I really wish the dimensions truly felt different. And whoops, what was that? Oops. I wish the dimensions felt different. I feel like it might be a bit too late to do something as drastic as that, but you could definitely make the dimensions feel different in different ways. Like, imagine if you suddenly update, oh wait, why is the gravity different, you know? It'd be a bit jarring for players. So I doubt they'd make that sort of change. Oh man, we got the whole squad fam here. There we are. Took care of them. Maybe they could use the end use procedural generation, have every island be a new and unique biome. I just want to actually explore instead of an empty dimension. That reminds me of another one of JXC's videos where he suggests that like blocks and items and things be procedurally generated, but procedural generation isn't really the way to go if you want something unique. I mean, technically it'll be unique, but it won't necessarily be interesting because it's not handcrafted to be. It's not deliberately made by design. You'd have to. It works well for world gen and stuff, albeit with constraints. But like procedural generation is something you really got to figure out, because while JXC's video might seem to add a lot of content, if it's just slight changes of existing stuff, like even if the slight changes are unpredictable, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that the end result is actually going to be fun. So if you want something to explore, then it doesn't necessarily need to come in the form of procedural generation. Procedural generation isn't... oh, hello. Procedural generation isn't a magic bullet. You cannot turn on the procedural generation button and then suddenly you have a bunch more content and stuff. But there could potentially be ways to harness it where it hasn't been used before. Oh, hello. I was thinking if Mojang could add more dimensions, they could be above the and below the nether. They might be -1 and 1 in the code, but they're technically not below each other. Like, even if you ignore the void, the devs have said they're not. And if that didn't... and if that's not enough for you, what did I say in my quasi little video? The 8:1 ratio, how you dribble 1 block on a nether equals 8 blocks in the overworld. That's not due to the curvature of the Earth. That's due to its inspiration, which was from the Wheel of Time book series, and in that case, it was a different dimension. And we need to go deeper. Oh, golden boots, lovely. We need to go deeper. Wait, what? Oh, just no enchantments. Looked like it had enchantments. We need to go deeper as a reference to Inception, where you basically go inside other people's dreams and things. And that does not refer to physical altitude. It refers like deeper into someone's mind, you know. So yeah, it's not below the nether is not below the overworld. One thing I don't get about Minecraft is that the reasons they gave for not adding the shark can literally be directly applied to polar bears. About that, person who said that they wouldn't add the shark, I believe, according to her, she was talking about her own opinions there. Wish she'd made that a bit more clear, because I feel like that caused a lot of controversy. But yeah, I feel like they wouldn't... Well, first of all, you can't have hostile mobs that are realistic. But then again, they could just make the shark neutral like they did the polar bear. But I would prefer them to add mobs that are like fantasy and unique. Like we have the Thrasher in Great Aquatic. And there's a lot more ways to be creative when you're thinking of fantasy mobs, because you don't have to be constrained by how they act in real life. For example, the Thrasher, you know, it has the sonar. It drops the teeth of the trident. You know, that doesn't necessarily say, oh well, if you kill a shark in real life, you'll be able to craft a trident. Not really the case. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird argument. I understand where they're coming from. I wouldn't say the problem is kids trying to kill sharks in real life. I would say that the problem is that they don't want to negatively contribute to the bad reputation of sharks, because you know, movies like Jaws, they really did them dirty. Polar bears, I feel like they don't have quite the same bad reputation. It's not like there's been a movie called Claws, which is based on a killer polar bear or whatever. Oh, hello. Okay, well, this is dangerous. Oh no. Uh-oh. Okay, well, the zombies behind me, so I can deal with a skeleton first. Okay, now the zombie's trying to get me. On half a heart, it's going to be close. Unless something drops in the ceiling, that's going to be a pointless task. I feel like I'm under a little bit of pressure when I'm on stream because I can't really feel like I can prepare for stuff. Like, usually when I'm mining, I do it very slow and methodically. Like, I get my iron, I get a bucket of water to pour on the lava. Actually, I could do that now. I do have enough. I get a bunch of food beforehand. I get like a stack of wood. What's up there? Skeleton. Okay. Where's my weapon? There's my weapon. Can it reach me from there? No, but I'm not going to take any chances. And that's an enchanted bow. There we are. You're taken care of, and I think I shall light this place up. Okay, there's a... It's coming from there, I think. There's another skeleton. Yeah, but there's some water up there, so I can get a water bucket if I wish. I was thinking of a dimension you can only open in the end and will lead you to a very desolated place you could call an undead dimension where only undead creatures would live. Yeah, I feel like the justification for a dimension has to come before the dimension itself. So that, you know, you have an actual vision for it. Where it's gonna... Oh, glowing obsidian. Oh, skeleton. Hello, Deeper. You actually have to have a separate vision, whereas undead stuff, you know, undead stuff can already fit in the nether. Or other dimensions. Whereas I think to justify a new dimension, you'd need something completely different. Like, absolutely completely different. Okay, well, I'm not going there. I guess I'll just have to get that water later. Would you prefer if mobs had smart AI, like being able to jump, like the player? To me, the AI of mobs is a lot more A than I, a lot more artificial than intelligent. I think it would be interesting, but at the same time, I'm worried about players who are kind of used to whoops. I don't want to hit you with a bucket. I feel like players are already used to how it is at the moment, so if they have better AI, I feel like that's got to be handled really carefully. Just because, oh, slain by zombie, alright. Just because, you know, some people use the old one, some people use the new one. Oh, and I'm back here. Oops, pressed the wrong buttons again. Well, I guess that's probably a good time to end the stream then, because apparently I cannot stay alive. So I think next time I might just do a bit off camera so I'm actually in a prepared state to do stuff. But it's been fun to talk. What I find is a very interesting update idea is something new in the game content to be unlocked for many things after defeating the game itself. I suppose that's already the case with like Elytra and shulker boxes. But yeah, there's lots that you could do about there. Minecraft dungeons could be a good inspiration. Animal reputation is really important when it comes to conservation. Scientists sometimes have to rename animals with ugly or gross sounding names because people don't care about conserving efforts. Yeah, like people say, oh, you know, kids aren't going to kill sharks in real life. And that's definitely like a an oversimplification of it. Like, one example would be the blobfish, you know. People think, haha, blobfish is just a funny little ugly fish. But like, if you see it actually underwater in its proper environment, it doesn't really look that bad. Like, you know, it still looks ugly, but not as stupid as like the typical pictures of it. And you know, it's used to living in a very high pressure environment. You know, down near the bottom of the ocean. So of course it's still going to look stupid when you like pull it all the way up and then it receives tissue damage. Oh, it's a Cameron slabfish. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually renamed the blobfish. because like imagine taking a human and like putting it in space. You know, it expands, looks weird, it dies. So yeah, we look alright on the surface, but like, you know, you can't really expect an animal to look how it should when it's in a place where it shouldn't be. So I guess that's just another example of like how it kind of affects the thing. Personally, think the Thrasher mob should not drop an item related to craft trident, and instead some related to its sonar ability, and the item used to craft the trident drop in Ardent Guardians. Yes, that's something that I considered very early on. Basically, as soon as Update Aquatic like started coming out, I was looking for stuff to improve it. And I'd seen the Elder Guardian idea a lot, like so often. Oh, so they're just still popping out, okay. And the problem with it is that it doesn't make them renewable. And even if it did, like, why is a trident something that should be delegated to ocean monuments? Like, ocean monuments probably the biggest oceanic threat in Minecraft. So once you got a trident, you know, you've got nothing to use it on. So that's and that plus it being wanting it to be renewable in some sort of decent way, and also combining people's thirsts for an actual ocean predator. It's the duck cave. Yeah, that's why I said, okay, well, there should be a big scary thing with sharp teeth. No ducks? Okay. Oh, deeper. There is a deeper though. Okay, well, let's get out of here then. But yeah, that's why I didn't go with the old popular idea of the Elder Guardians, because I felt like it just didn't fit there. Good evening, Talon. Faster Cans, what's the place where you're at? I believe this is Carmen's and Obi's place. I'm probably going to log off soon anyway because I died. And I'm definitely going to go on the server just like normally. So I actually have something to showcase instead of just talking around, going around talking about game design and dying. So I think I'm just gonna walk around. If unless anyone has any questions, show the area around if we need the stream. Sure. I'm not too familiar with this place. But this looks like a farm. Got some cows. Got the old yaks. Got an enchanting setup. And I believe there's a the old structure up here. I got shown up here when I first navigated to this place on stream. Got the old slabfish effigy. Apparently they're up here for some particular reason. I don't know really, and I don't know why I'm lagging on this ladder. There we are. Now it's letting me down. Right, what else have we got? I'm hungry. We got the 100% ethical duck egg farm. Very ethical. I would actually like to try my hand at designing some more ethical farming mechanics. Like, I remember having one where instead of dropping the egg as an item, it would place the egg as a block like turtles do, and then you'd have to like bounce the egg on some slime balls to break it. Stuff like that just kind of, if it places it as a block, that means that you need to have quite a wide surface area so that, you know, it has more places to place the eggs on, which means, you know, you can't really keep your chickens in cages. Stuff like that. I feel like that would do a lot to kind of not only just make Minecraft farms look less like battery cages, but also just to make them more interesting, instead of, you know, saying, oh well, you just build this farm with the easiest amount of space and things. If you actually had to think about how you would design the farm to optimize the egg output, I think that would be a lot more interesting and a lot more fun of a challenge. Hello, BlockXL, and hello. How did you get that dab emote? Wait, what? How do you get custom emotes? Is it a custom emote or is it... Wait, let me try typing that in. Dab. No, that's not a thing. Desi, you need to squander your secrets. What have we got here? Oh, this is Carmen's house. It's made of some nice white wisteria. Here we got the kiln. The sawmill. Sawmill, not a woodcutter. Keep calling it a woodcutter. That's the old cooking pot. Elbow cough. It's a default emote. What? Elbow. It is. Whoops. I did the wrong one. Wait, what's that one? Elbow bump. Interesting. There's no way they added that as an actual elbow cough. That has to be a dab. What else is there to show around? There's a bit of yucca fruit over there. What's over here? Presumably some sort of trap. Here we got a little temple, and I think the monsters are supposed to spawn here. All YouTube emotes. Interesting. We got some nice cursed fire torches from caverns and chasms. Is there anything else to see? Pit for villagers. Wouldn't surprise me. Don't think there's anything else here. Would you like to see something unique to the skies in Minecraft? Maybe a generated structure such as the Sky Island would be cool and fun to explore, and maybe even act foreshadowing for the islands of the end. I'm not sure how much foreshadowing it would be, especially how the end seems to be fairly separate. You know, you got the nether leaking in, whereas the end is just kind of vibing in its own dimension, apart from the end portals and things, and the endermen, of course. Floating islands would be cool. It would be fun to just see one in the sky and go, oh, I should probably go for that. I guess it depends on what sort of gameplay it would require. Like if you just pull it up, I'm not so sure about that, but like imagine like launching yourself with a TNT cannon or something. That would be interesting. But yeah, as I said before, I'm not really a good judge of like whether an idea seems unique. It's more I care more about like how the player would interact with it. I feel like I'm a bit too like I've gone a bit too deep into game design now. I can't appreciate features for what they are. It reminds me of an old quote, you know, give a person a game and they'll have fun for a day. Teach a person game design, they'll never have fun again in their life. Blockexel says, hey Cam, what did you think about Mojang not even mentioning the Warden in the newest Caves and Cliffs video? Seems like it would be part of the mobs in the first release. I don't hear them say anything. Yeah, I feel like the Warden's going to be one of the last things, just because of the amount of work that would need to go into it, iterating over so that the experience is as intended and not just people cheesing it somehow. Not to mention that it interacts with a lot of different mechanics. Like, it's not just the mob that add. It would be the entire Deep Dark, and the Warden in Deep Dark is kind of like one functional organism, and it would be kind of misleading to just put the Warden in, even though it is technically an entity, because then people wouldn't understand it within the context of the Deep Dark. And given the mechanics that you've thought of the Deep Dark, they definitely complement one another. So I think that's why. Also, they don't want the Warden to be they want to keep it very mysterious. They want players to explore it as intended. Become Minecraft modder, become bad at Minecraft. Precisely. Something that I see is that a lot of modders actually don't really like the base game or don't play it often, which makes them, including me to some extent. Well, I don't hate the game. I just don't play it very often because I'm too busy designing for it. But the problem is, like, you know, you're designing a game for people to play. So if you don't design it and if you design it but don't play it, how do you know if your feature's going to be good? That's why I'm trying to make an effort to playtest stuff. Just so I can kind of get a feel for what features are fun and which features aren't. But I think that's probably about it, unless anyone has any more questions. What if they aren't adding azalea wood because Mojang always adds 2 new woods at once? I don't think that sounds like a sensible limitation for them to have. I suppose perhaps, what would be the 2 other woods? Can't think of them now, but like, I guess it would, if they had some sort of thing about like deliberately holding off on content as to not like overwhelm the player base. I think that was the thing back in 1.11. I don't think they're doing it now given how much stuff they're adding. That seems like quite an arbitrary rule. I would say they're not adding azalea probably because the trees are fairly rare, and although you can in Bedrock make more from the bushes, having a lot of like azalea trees all over the place, I feel like would mislead players into thinking there's a lush cave nearby. I feel like it's hard to tell if they're exact design for azaleas because, you know, they're supposed to indicate lush caves, and they've got their own like lushness around them and different leaves and things. And it does kind of bother me that they've got oak wood logs and things, but there's just so much of Minecraft's design that is kind of, we can really only speculate on unless we directly ask the developers about it. So yeah, I feel like the wooden's going to be one of the last things because, you know, it's very mysterious, so they would want it to oh, there goes the duck. So yeah, I feel like they would want to keep it under wraps for as long as possible so people can get used to the other cave update content, and then they can see the wood and see how much that changes things for them. Hello, Jakey boy. Fortunately, you've caught the tail end of the stream, so I think I'm going to stop now. Maybe get killed by the zombie first. There we are. All right. Maybe Minecraft could encourage players to farm ethically by giving them rewards like the animals giving more produce. It could also encourage smarter base building around farms. That would definitely be something I would be a fan of. How many other people on the moment? A couple. Oh, they're enough to sleep apparently. Unless I must have gotten up accidentally. Bucket of lava will be very effective against the warden. I have a feeling it won't. I don't think anything's supposed to be effective against the warden. And thanks for the compliment. I'll pass that on to Carmen or Obi or whoever did that. So yeah, I think it's time to leave it there. Thanks everyone for coming, and if you want to continue talking, as always, you can join the Discord. You can brainstorm there. You can talk about Minecraft. You can look at people's art, or just chat about random other stuff. It's a pretty nice place. I try to keep it constructive and polite and everything. Do you think the biomes updates shown in past Minecons will be bundled into a new update or added on to a different themed update like 1.14 did? I don't know. I do kind of want them all to come at once. I feel like they could make a decent update of all the stuff that's left over, and then maybe bundle that with more stuff like new structures. You know, the surface update. Not a very nice name, but it works for what it is, I suppose. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there. And you can always join the Discord if you want to continue talking. I'm very active there as well, so should be alright. See you everyone, thanks for coming along, and I'll make sure the next one is planned a bit more, so I don't have to rely on talking about game design. Alright, see you everyone. Maybe the warden could have insane regeneration, or just be immune to it in the first place. Alright, see you everyone.